Conor McGregor claims, he just said this, that he got a $200 million offer. This is breaking news, to fight Terence Crawford. He also said Terence Crawford is terrified. We're going to get into all of it, especially considering that Terence Crawford just put Ilia Topuria on blast over Ilia Topuria's recent fight at the UFC White House, where Ilia Topuria defended his belt against Justin Gaethje and lost. And now Terence, the boxer, is speaking out about MMA fighters. Meanwhile, he's got a $200 million offer to fight Conor McGregor in MMA. We're going to break it all down. We're going to get into it today, guys. Appreciate you guys subscribing. My name is King David MMA. I'm a professional MMA champion, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I coach and I train at the greatest gym on the planet, Extreme Couture. Make sure you have notifications on, because we go live every freaking day at all kinds of different times. No telling when I'm going to go live, guys. So anyway, make sure you subscribe and have notifications on. I'm going to drop something in the chat real quick and we're going to get going. All right. Also, make sure you check out Fight Circus, guys. Fight Circus is home of the freak show fights. If you guys want crazy shit, there's nothing crazier than Fight Circus. Like, literally people with different pronouns fight. It's wild. Anything goes in Thailand. If you go to their Instagram, Fight Circus, you're going to see some wild stuff. Also, make sure your coach goes to studiomillions.com to grow their gym. And if you want a real one t-shirt, you can get one, but only if you're a real one. And that link is in the chat right now, guys. All right, so make sure you like it. You like this video for the algo, and we're going to get started right now. So, guys, big drama between boxing and MMA. As always, not only did Tyson Fury, the heavyweight champion of the world, walk out. He's a boxer. He walked out at UFC White House. There wasn't really a lot of announcement for him. He didn't make an announcement. It got weird. Maybe he's reserved for boxing. Maybe he's not. But also, Terence Crawford went in. He kicked a man when he was down. He went in on Ilia Topuria after Ilia lost. He's like, man, that's the guy you said was going to beat me? He's like, this is the guy said he could beat me? Bro, come on, dog. And then Conor McGregor went on Ariel Helwani today, and he clapped back at Terence because Terence is talking about an MMA fight. Okay? So there's a big difference between MMA and boxing. And the biggest problem is that boxers get paid more, so MMA fighters go over and fight boxers in boxing rule sets. Nearly never does a boxer come over and fight in MMA. So they think they're tight in a limited rule set. Now, Conor's making the argument that Terence really doesn't want the smoke, and Terence should never speak about Ilia Topuria because he's talking about an MMA fight, not a boxing match. And to MMA fighters, boxing is like, dude, just two hands. That's all I got to worry about with pillows on my hands. Bro, easy work. Let me take a sip of this caffeinated beverage real quick. So Conor's promoting his fight with Max Holloway in the UFC, but he revealed a big piece of news. He revealed two pieces of news, actually. One, he's part owner in Bare Knuckle, BKFC, and BKFC is now going to be on Fox. They're making a play to come to Vegas, but right now they're going to start broadcasting on Fox, which is a huge deal for Bare Knuckle. Which was breaking news, right? So that's not supposed to even be revealed. He revealed that. And then on top of that, he also literally, like, this is his words. This is me quoting him. This isn't me speculating. This is exactly what Conor said. Conor said he was hanging out with Sheik Turkey, and Sheik Turkey is the one who puts on all the $100 million boxing fights, the big super fights. Conor's hanging out with him in Saudi Arabia. Conor and Sheik call Terence Crawford on FaceTime, and Conor's like, what's up? What's cracking, bud? It's McGregor. What's up? It's the Mac. And then Terence is like, oh, what's up? And he's like, hey, I'm here with the big guy. And he puts the Sheik on the FaceTime. This is the dude that finances all of it. He is in charge of entertainment. He's like the entertainment director for the country of Saudi Arabia. He has unlimited funding. He can spend whatever he wants. There's no budget. They have oil money. They have trillions of dollars to spend. They can do whatever the fuck they want to do. Conor puts Terence on the phone. Is like, hey, we have a $200 million offer from the Sheik. It's for 2 fights. You get paid for each fight. Fight number 1 is fighting me in MMA. And fight number 2, I fight you in boxing. What do you say? Let's collect this big bag of cash together. And then Conor says, Terence Crawford is scared. Terence Crawford says no to the $200 million deal in front of the Sheik. Terence Crawford's words, this is Conor saying, Terence said this, I don't want to get kicked by you. He turned down a $200 million deal because he doesn't want to get kicked. And then he goes on to blast Ilia Topuria over quitting on the stool in an MMA fight that he won't even engage. He's scared to fight in MMA, yet he's speaking about MMA fighters. This is a big problem. So Conor's bringing this to light. Conor's saying that, hey, man, you don't want to get kicked. And you're talking about this guy quitting on the stool in something you won't even do. You won't even step in there. You won't test yourself as a man. Conor McGregor went in on him, guys. So anyways, that was that to me, that's the craziest news I've heard. In how long? 200 milli? And you don't want to get kicked? Bro, come on, dog. Come on, bro. You said you used to wrestle. And Conor brought that up too. He brought up that Terence Crawford says that he wrestled. So the guy's a world-class world champion boxer with a wrestling background. And he won't fight Conor McGregor in a $200 million bout. And then Conor's going to fight him in boxing, right? So it's like, dude, you get 2 fights. One, you should win easily. And the other one, hey, you're probably going to take an L, but at least people will be like respecting you as a man, dog. And then you got the gall to go out and talk shit on Ilia. Bro, Ilia would smoke you, dog. Ilia would smoke you like a fucking pot roaster. What do we smoke? We smoke brisket. He smoke you like a brisket, bruh. He in an MMA fight. Come on, dog. Terence Crawford has no chance against any of these dudes in MMA. And you know what? There's somebody who frequently chats on the channel. His name's Hamza, and he always brings up KJ Noons. KJ Noons thought he was a boxer, dude, but he trained MMA. Like at one point he boxed, and then he made the transition to MMA, and then he started training MMA. And then he was an MMA fighter. So he had a boxing background. There's a couple guys like this, like Chris Lytle had a boxing background, but he was a well-rounded martial artist. Terence Crawford has a wrestling background, but in terms of his wrestling versus boxing, nobody's going to say that he's a wrestler. They're going to say he's a boxer with a wrestling background. Either way, Terence will get smoked. We all know he'd get smoked. But to turn down $200 million, bro, come on, dog. What are we doing here, bro? So anyway, that's the big news of the day. Conor McGregor calls out Terence Crawford, puts him on blast, calls him a fucking chicken, says he's scared to fight in MMA because he doesn't want to get kicked. Also, Conor went in and said that he's going to son Max Holloway because Max Holloway is already his son. He already sunned him once. He's going to son him again. So he's basically said, you're my son, son. You're my son, son. So that was an interesting take. Conor wants to fight multiple times. Conor said there's 52 weeks in the year. He wants 52 fights this year. He wants to fight every week. He also said that they have given him his date for his next fight, which is in April. So he's going to fight this fight with Max Holloway. And then April of next year is when they want him to fight again, which is wild. I think they should let the motherfucker fight as frequently as he wants. The issue is there's contract disputes. So Conor is in a contract where he has 2 fights remaining, this Max Holloway, and then allegedly that April fight. So if they don't renegotiate by then, he's a free agent. He's part owner in BKFC. There's MVP Netflix cards coming out. There's fucking brand risk. Not to say that Conor would fight in brand risk, but there's Misfits Boxing. Conor's got options. So Conor's saying he wants to sign with the UFC. He wants to stay in the UFC. He wants to get paid what he's worth. He said that he's the highest paid fighter in the UFC by 5 times more than anybody else. And he's also the most underpaid. So in terms of his value, he's underpaid. But in terms of the rest of the roster, he's making 5 times more than anybody. So allegedly, Alex Pereira has a $10 million contract where he's making 10 million a fight. I don't that sounds wild to me. That Alex is making 10 mil a fight. But if that's the case, Conor's by those numbers alleging that he's making 50 million a fight, which is fucking hey, listen, man. They say MMA doesn't pay, but if he's making 50 mil, I mean, that's a cool little check. I mean, it's not $200 million to kick a boxer's head off his shoulders. That's a different check, right? That's a fun 200 milli. But yeah, and then Conor also said that he said yes to the Carlos Paredes fight. He said that they were trying to offer him that fight so he would not fight at 170, but Conor said yes. And so they were trying to like scare him off the 170 thing, thinking that he would say no. And then he would go fight at 55 because they want Conor at 55, which leads me to my next point. If Conor beats Max Holloway, will Conor fight Justin Gaethje for the lightweight UFC championship of the world? Will he, like, that's how this is looking like it's playing out. That Conor's gonna beat Max Holloway. I know, crazy thought. Oh my gosh, the guy hasn't been. Listen, Conor's gonna beat Max Holloway. You heard it here first. I pick sides. Conor's gonna win. He won before. He'll win again. I know. Oh, but he had an injury and he took time off. And dude, doesn't matter. Conor's winning. Put it down, clip it, play it back, drop a comment, disagree with me, whatever. And we're going to revisit this video when Conor wins. And then I'm going to hop into the comment section and I'm going to say, I told you so. Right. And if not, if I'm wrong, then post it. But I'm not wrong. I'm right. Here's what I was right about. I said I was 100% sure Justin Gaethje was going to win. I said I was 100% sure that Sean Strickland was going to beat Hamzat. I said before Josh Hokett was even Josh Hokett, I said, this guy is going to be the next guy for the heavyweight title, and he's going to win the belt. And guess what he did? He went out there, got himself on the White House card, beat up Derek Lewis, and now they're talking about him for the heavyweight title. Exactly like I said. So that's what I'm saying. Call me Destiny Dave because I predict these things. Okay? I should get a little fucking psychic ball right here. You know what I mean? I should get a psychic ball right here. Maybe that's my next purchase for the studio. I'll get a psychic ball because I predict these things. Hey, I got John Hogan just jumped in the chat. Hey, everyone. Yeah, man, we're starting a little early today, bruh. We're starting a little early. I got to go down to Extreme Couture. I'm going to slap up some of the amateurs on the amateur team. Not like in a malicious way, just in a like, hey, guys, we're going to toughen you up because you guys got fights. And if you guys go into the fights battle tested in the room, then the fight oftentimes is easier than the training. So we're trying to make the training more challenging than the fight will be, hopefully. So we got a bunch of people fighting on cards coming up. Man, I'm excited. Francis Ngannou, MVP. Who are they going to have him fight? They're talking about having him fight Despania or Despain. What is that dude's name? The Taekwondo gentleman. I want to see like Francis Ngannou versus Brock Lesnar. Let's fucking run it up, guys. Also, the big winner of the UFC White House, while it was Justin Gaethje, wasn't Justin Gaethje. While it was Cyril Gane, was not Cyril Gane. While it was Sugar Sean O'Malley, was not Sean O'Malley. While it was Josh Hokett, was not Josh Hokett. The big winner, the biggest freaking winner of the whole UFC White House. He's got alliteration in his name. Alliteration is when you spell things with the same first letter. John Jones. John Jones beats all these dudes without fighting. He's literally cementing himself not only as the GOAT of MMA, but also the king of the heavyweight division without fighting anybody. He's like letting them fight amongst themselves just to show his dominance. Like Cyril Gane beat up Alex Pereira. Bad. People are saying he hit him in the back of the head, all that. None of that's happening to John Jones. John Jones folded that dude in half, stuck his head up his ass, and choked him. right? Like didn't get hit type shit. You know, like not in danger at all. And obviously there's danger in MMA fights, but in terms of like the least amount of danger possible, he didn't experience like, oh shit, John got cracked. Oh, whatever. Oh my gosh, it's looking bad. Oh, he fought back. There was none of that. It was just like one sided. Cyril Gahn, a lot of people had him beating Tom Aspinall before the eye pokes. So what? Tom would beat John? Like, so Alex is gone. Cyril Gahn is already lost to the dude. What are you going to do? Strip Tom Aspinall and give the belt to Cyril Gahn? Well, then that's John's belt. That's John's belt at that point. John has a claim like, hey, man, John could walk into a UFC event and go, hey, bro, hand me the belt. Just hand me the belt. Don't make me embarrass you again. We don't need to fight, Cyril Gahn. Just give me the belt. But don't make me do it, bro. I will come back just to beat you up again. And then Cyril would have to like just, you know what, bro, you're right. Like, because what's Cyril gonna do, bro? What's he gonna? He should just give him the belt. That's John's belt. We all know that. That's John's belt, guys. Come on, what are we freaking doing here? And then, yeah, Tom says he wants to come back in August to fight Cyril Gahn in Gay Paris in Paris, France. And it's like, okay, that might be doable, but Tom's probably going to have to stay on the same contract he's on, which his manager does not want him to do. So his manager wants him to renegotiate his contract, which if they get into contract disputes in any form of anything, they're stripping him. That leaves Chama on your mama, Josh Hokit's pulling up, talking about Michelle Obama, and he's going to fucking talk his way. And he fought his way, but he talked his way and fought. The combo is going to get him into a title shot. Josh Hokit, Cyril Gahn, and then John Jones is just sitting in the back, like, "Hey man, if Cyril wins, bro, just give me the belt, bro. Just we can do this the hard way or the easy way. What do you want, bro? The easy way or the hard way? I'm just gonna pull up. Just hand me the belt. You guys fight amongst yourselves, and I'm gonna be over here not fighting you guys because I'm levels above you. That's what I got out of that fight. I don't know what you guys got out of that fight, but for me, that solidified John as the king of the heavyweight division. Now it's like, oh, John should fight Tom Aspinall. Okay, but if Cyril Gahn beats Tom, then what are we really doing? Oh, styles make fights. Fuck, dude. What if that's the next match? What if they strip Cyril Gahn of the interim belt and John Jones comes back? Because John Jones did say, hey, I'm still under contract and I'm available. John said this. I'm available to make the biggest fights on the planet. Do they want the biggest fights on the planet? They've got John Jones right there. Cyril Gahn is in his shadow. You can't have a legitimate heavyweight title fight at this point without John Jones being involved. Personal. That's my take. Because John Jones is saying he's willing to fight. It's not like he's like, hey, man, I can't fight. I'm gone. Now he's saying he wants to fight. They should let the motherfucker fight. Personally. So anyway, also Sugar Sean with the walk away salute. I think, man, if Peter Yan gets it done, we're looking at Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Peter Yan, the rematch. Sugar Sean beat him in the first fight, and now they're rematching for the belt. Dude, that's incredible. Sugar Sean O'Malley's gonna be he's gonna regain his title. He's gonna regain his title in a rematch, and then Marab's in the wings, and then that's a problem. But can Sugar Sean make the adjustments needed in the time needed? Now, if Marab was to beat Peter Yan, then how are they? Then they're gonna have to do like Sugar Sean versus Corey Sandhagen or something, you know. In the meantime, because I don't think they're gonna do Sugar Sean versus Marab again. I don't know. Fuck, dude. Marab, I've trained with Marab so much to overcome his skill set. I believe would be very, 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 very extremely challenging for Sugar Sean O'Malley. But I think Sugar Sean would beat Peter Yan in a rematch. So that's going to be interesting. So either way, there's a path back to the belt for Marab. Now, Marab's on the Las Vegas Strip. He converted a scooter to a couch and he's zipping around on the couch. Oh, Hamza, bro, we were just talking about you. I was just saying how anytime I bring up boxers can't actually fight, you bring up KJ Noons. And I was saying that KJ Noons was a boxer who learned how to fight in MMA. So he trained in MMA as well, you know. So in that regard, I mean, like technically, technicalities, like, oh, he was a boxer, right? But he also White House card doing 7.1 million on Paramount Plus globally. 5.9 here. Is that cap? I know you sent me that on Instagram as well. I didn't look into it yet. I've not looked into that, but that sounds very low to me. And so, uh, even if they did 7.1 million on Paramount globally, in some markets they were not just on Paramount, right? So in a lot of countries they were on, let's say, broadcast TV, and in other countries they also have a pay-per-view model still. So, do you happen to have the full numbers, or have they not released those numbers yet? Because that's pretty wild. Because if that's the numbers they did, then that means the Netflix card was a bigger card than the UFC White House card. Now, now, oh shit, Mark Goddard ended Ilya's career. Fuck. Hot take. Yeah, I'm not sure if they should have let the fight go after Ilya was saying that he can't see out of his eye. That's a code word. That's a way for a fighter to get out of there. And a lot of times backstage, they talk to you about that. And um, yeah, they know. Yes, Netflix did bigger numbers. Yeah, so if Netflix was the bigger card, that's crazy. That's insane, dude. Shout out to fucking Jake Paul and MVP and Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano. You know what I mean? Shout out to them. Shout out to Nikisa. That's wild if they did bigger numbers. Now, me personally, I liked the White House card better. I'm biased. I'm a pro MMA champion. I'm a black, but I'm looking at a lot of different factors. I'm not just looking at what's the craziest. Oh, that guy looks crazy, man. He's got muscles and is big and scary. Oh my gosh, right? Like, I like the White House card personally much better. And the doc said in the fight, yeah, dude. So what happened? So what I'm understanding is that there were multiple doctors and multiple languages there. So one doctor said in the fight, the other doctor said he's good to go. And then Goddard explained to the one doctor that the other doctor said he was good to go. And then they let the fight go on. And then I also heard that there was not the usual commission there, that it was some other form of commission, so that it wasn't technically the sanctioning body they would normally use in that jurisdiction, although I'm guessing the White House has its own fucking jurisdiction or something. So yeah, it gets complicated, right? Because if they're not using the, let's say, what would they use? The Virginia State Athletic Commission, or you know what I mean? Like, who would they use there? So yeah, that White House card is complicated in terms of the Mark Goddard decision to let it go, because to my understanding, it's the doctor's determination. If the doctor says the fight can't go on, then the referee defaults to the doctor. The doctor did waive it off, so the fight. And I'm not a fucking legal expert, but the fight should have ended at that point. And then Ilya took a bunch of damage after that. And I had just been talking about this because we're showing turtle position. Me and Coach Juan at Extreme Couture have been showing turtle position. And I'm very, very big on kneeing in turtle position because Coach Mike Pyle, UFC veteran and Extreme Couture living legend, he put me on to like how you could just knee the floating ribs as someone's getting up on the, it's brutal, right? And so I was literally just talking about this in practice. And then Justin Gaethje, boom, hits the technique of the week on a motherfucker in a professional UFC world title fight. Let's fucking go. Yeah, so when the doc said in the fight, after Ilya said he wants to continue, and the Goddard continued, strange. Yeah, White House card was better, but for the first event, MVP did good. If Doc says stop the fight, you stop the fight. And the Doc was right. The weather played a huge part in the fights too. Do you believe the weather played a part? Or do you think that affected Ilya's cardio? Is that what you're saying? And yeah, so that was my understanding, is that if the doc waives the fight, because it's about fighter safety. So the commission comes in, they sanction everything, they bring in doctors, there's doctors there, and everything's based in fighter safety. Strikes to the back of the head are fighter safety, eye pokes are fighter safety, ability to continue fighter safety, doctor stoppage, cuts, bleeding in the eye, all that. It's the whole premises of everything. Why there's even a regulatory body there, why there's even any form of commission there, is all under the umbrella of fighter safety. And if the doctor says stop the fight, it's always been my understanding that the doctor trumps everybody. Trump, hey, get it, wordplay, hey, which is kind of wild because when you say Trump, like, oh, he trumps it, that's named after Trump. Trump used to have a board game with a Trump card, and you could play the Trump card, and that would beat the other card. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like now it's a word in the American dictionary. Oh, that trumps that, right? So it's kind of wild. And now we're talking about the doctor trumps everything on Trump's birthday, even though the doctor didn't trump, which is the doctor got trumped by the referee on Trump's birthday. So yeah, if the doctor decided to fight and the doc was right, the weather played right, yes. Also, because of the soccer World Cup, they didn't do big numbers, which is kind of wild, right? Like the soccer World Cup's going on, and the UFC is counter programming the World Cup, which is probably the most popular sport in the world. And listen, let me take back my inflection on that. The World Cup soccer, football, is the most popular sport in the world currently. We all know that to be a fact. Marco Rubio said they'll do billions of views. They'll probably do billions of impressions across platforms with the clips. With the Clippers clipping. So, I mean, what do you define as a view, right? Is a view a hour-long watch on Paramount Plus? Is a view someone who clicked on Paramount Plus? Is a view someone who sees 2 seconds on Instagram? So what's their definition of views? So I'm not saying Marco Rubio is inaccurate in that statement. Marco Rubio is technically correct, although what is implied is much different than the actuality of, like, if we're being super literal with the wording of that. He said live views. Oh, whoa, well, there. He said live views. Now that's a different subject matter. Billions, that would mean like more than 1/8 of the world was watching live. That's wild. That's a wild statement. That's a wild statement. But as someone, I go live every day. As someone who speaks frequently, semi-publicly, uh, sometimes in the heat of the moment, in the speed of the conversation, things can get said, which upon reflection, it's not what you intended to say. And so that's why I am actively working on being a more effective communicator, because I believe that words have meanings, and that in order for us to communicate effectively with each other, there has to be my intention and what I mean, and then your interpretation of it. And so it's communication isn't just I said something. Communication is like I said something in a clear manner that allowed you to understand the meaning of what I said, not just the words of what I said, because the meaning can be different. You can interpret the other way. The other day, uh, Reckless Ray popped in the chat, Aubrey Gordon, and Aubrey said, how to become a full fighter. And my interpretation of it was he meant full-time fighter. Like, how the fuck do I quit this job so I can train full-time? What he meant by it was like how to be once he clarified, it was like how to be a full fighter in all skill sets, like a complete fighter. So he intended it one way, I interpreted it a different way. I started to answer a question that he didn't ask. So as someone who's speaking publicly, I can understand how Marco Rubio might say billions of views, because that is more translatable to the audience than saying billions of impressions, because saying billions of impressions or billions of social media views or what, like, there's different definitions of views. The quickest way to be succinct with the, hey, it's a big event, is to say billions of views. Unless, as I'm doing right now, Marco Rubio were to take that time to break down every fucking word and every possible meaning and then the intention and go, well, actually, it's probably going to do billions and billions of impressions. And what our definition of an impression is this. And then in terms of views, it could potentially do billions of views if you base a view on this. But when he says live views, now we're getting crazy. CNN, Luke Thomas, ABC, MSNBC said that, and the independent liberal media. So what about Luke Thomas and his liberal takes? You're talking about views on there as well? Yeah, so Luke Thomas, I haven't even watched his reaction to the UFC. There's no way he can be mad at it. There's no way. There's no way. There's no, even Ariel Helwani's hating ass, right? And I like Ariel now. I like him for the next fucking 30 minutes or 3 weeks or fucking whatever. He's back on my good side because he said good things about the White House. So shout out to Ariel Helwani for saying that it was awesome. I think he called it like a master class or something. He said it was great. He said it was great. And I thought it was too. So I absolutely loved the UFC White House event. I thought it was the fucking best MMA event I've ever seen. Justin Gaethje's fucking backflip. He won the, dude, there's no better story. I hope they make a Justin Gaethje movie. But even if they make the movie isn't even going to be as good as the real fucking life story. Let me go read the chat one time. They lost their minds on Josh Huckins coming home, Michelle Obama being a man. It was awesome. Dude, and then people are going like, oh, Joe Rogan, right? And then other people are saying, what does Joe Rogan have to do with it? He can't help what Josh Hokett says. But I'm pretty sure Joe Rogan had a comedy special where Joe Rogan said the same thing. So in a way, Hokett was doing a throwback with Joe Rogan to Joe Rogan's comedy special, where he either said or implied the same thing about Michelle. So Hamza says it was awesome. Oh, you're a big Mike theorist. You're a big Mike theorist. We got HHH custom knives, real one. Let's freaking go, bro. We got the real ones in the chat. Everybody's pulling up. Hey, my guy Ty, what's up? That backflips almost fucked him up worse than the fight. I know, right? He landed on his neck on the rebound backflip. Yeah, man, my guy Tycoon in the building. Let's freaking go. This man listened to the live. Said, man, you're making a good case for Justin Gaethje. I'm gonna go drop some dough. He put some coin on it. He made the play. And then he came by Extreme Couture and shot me $50 because he's a man of his word. Let's freaking go, guys. Anyway, speaking of being a man of my word, I don't miss practice. I'm headed to practice. I'm going to go strangle some people, slap some people up. I'm headed to Extreme Couture amateur team, you know, just to get some rounds with the youth. You know what I mean? They keep me young. They keep me young. You know what I'm saying? It's a fun little practice. Like a quick little workout, nothing too crazy. And we're going to go in there. We're going to gently turn them into savage beings. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to push them right to the limit. Right. And then we're going to, not like we're going to break them down, but we're going to build them up. You know what I'm saying? BKFC signed with Fox Sports. Yeah, bro. I was talking. That's how we started the live. Was talking about Conor McGregor's interview where he was blasting Terence Howard and all that. That's a big deal. BKFC, dude, is Fox Sports ready for BKFC? BKFC, if you guys have never been to BKFC in person, it's the sketchiest thing I've ever seen live. But okay, pause. Take that out. In America, I did see a Lethway fight. I saw a Lethway fight in what did I see? Was that a bare knuckle fight I saw? In Thailand. I saw some crazy shit in Thailand. But yeah, bare knuckle fights are the craziest thing. Bare knuckle, if you ever go live and you want to, if you have the stomach for it and you want to see the craziest shit you've ever seen, bare knuckle live is fucking nuts. And me personally, I fuck with bare knuckle fighting championship, BKFC, because I cornered The MMA legend, Felony Charles Bennett, there twice, one of which he got a vicious knockout victory and broke a man's jaw at Knucklemania, the biggest event of the year. Went on to get, at the last time I checked, 16 million views on one social media platform alone, went ultra viral. And in his next fight, he made the dude look like the dude got hit by a fucking truck in the face. You know what I'm saying? The dude looked like Ilya Tapori. You know what I'm saying? It was bad. Felony beat that dude up bad. But, we were in Hawaii and, the judges were probably the dude's cousins or something. You know what I'm saying? Listen, the judges are going to do what the judges are going to do. They've never been in a fight in their life for the most part. So they don't even know what they're fucking looking at oftentimes. But anyway, man, yeah, so I rock with BKFC because they're giving my dude, Felony Charles Bennett, opportunities. Shout out to BKFC, Dave Feldman and the crew. When I met Dave Feldman, he's a funny guy. He's a funny guy and he's charismatic, man. I like that guy. So he was talking about, because Felony wants me to fight BKFC. I don't want to fight BKFC. Okay. I'm like, I'm cool on that. I'm like, I want to do it maybe one time just to say I did it. Right. Like, hey, bro, I did that. Right. So I want to compete in all kinds of martial arts. But as of right now, I'm over here collecting MMA belts. I want to add like 2 or 3 more of these. Like, hey, man, I'm a 4-time professional MMA champion. I got to win over so-and-so. He fought in the UFC. This guy, that guy, right? Like, I'm interested in like beating up UFC veterans, not because I have a problem with them personally, because Sean Shelby says I'm too old to be in the UFC. So I'm like, hey, man, Sean, respect your take. You're the matchmaker. You're the best matchmaker in the world. Do your thing, 21. I'm going to go over here and beat up all these dudes who are at that skill level. That's my plan, right? I'm aging in reverse. But when it comes to bare knuckle, Felony told Dave Feldman to give me a fight in bare knuckle. And Dave said, Felony, if King David spars me and does well, then I'll sign King David. And I'm like, bro, like, I appreciate you, dog. But you know what I mean? I know Dave Feldman sparred some people, right? But I'm a whole different animal than that motherfucker. You know what I mean? Now we're getting kind of crazy. That's crazy talk, bro. That's great, but I like him for that. Like, that's what I'm saying. He's got a confidence about himself. You know what I mean? Some would say delusional, but it's all good, right? Like, I like that about him, that he's like, hey, man, listen, I'm not only the CEO, I'm the fucking matchmaker. If that, like, and he's got a matchmaker, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to get signed, then you got to spar me. I'm like, oh shit. Okay. Dave's about it, guys. Dave's fucking about it, right? And so shout out to Dave Feldman. And let me read the chat real quick. So cool to see Felony Charles fight again. Yeah, man, it was dope. Felony broke that guy. That was so bad that we were backstage and that guy didn't remember where he was at. He didn't remember he got dropped in the first. He was fucked off in the back and he couldn't talk. Right? His jaw was broken in. There's a lady there. There's his mom. We're in the back with his mom. And Felony just broke her son's jaw. Dude, yeah. That's the crazy shit people don't see about the fights. It's like all the backstage shit. Like, when you've broken a man's face and you go in the back out of respect to talk to him and his mom's there crying, you know what I mean? Or you go in the back and he's with his kids and he's crying and bleeding. Or like after the fight, when the man's son comes up to you and you split the man's head open and choked him unconscious and his son comes up and goes, hey, thanks for fighting my dad. You're like, fuck, bro. Fuck. It gets so gnarly backstage. It's like unlike anything else. Not only is the fight unlike anything else, but all the surrounding shit that happens after is fucking nutty. Conor will not make 170 against Max. He looks way out of shape and too big. Bro, Conor is going to make 170 on the dot. He's going to say it's championship weight. He's going to smoke Max like a fucking beef brisket. And then he's going to go on to fight for the UFC world title at 170 or 155. Write it down. Take a picture. Mark my words. I'm getting the fucking psychic ball over here, guys. On your Jake Paul method. Bro, Scott Coker will sign you. Coker's league will start next year in January. They robbed Felony. Yeah, that's what everybody's saying. Anyone who is not actually Hawaiian from Hawaii Everybody else, every single person, Black, white, Hispanic, Native American, Inuit, like whatever, mixed. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever. Every single person in the comments that's not a Hawaiian said that they robbed felony and they scored the fight for felony. Every single person. 100% of the people. Nope, everybody. So it's wild. So I told Felon, I said, man, listen, man, we can't focus on the judges. We can only focus on our performance. And I'm proud of you for that performance, man. You dropped that dude, what, 2 or 3 times in the first round? You know what I mean? He dropped him like 2 or 3 times in the first round, and then somehow these dudes come around to a different, anyway, don't get me started. But yeah, so the judging in that was interesting. But guess what, man? The promotion oftentimes has nothing to do with the judges. I don't know if they did at the White House card because they brought in a different commission, but we didn't really see the judge. So there you go, guys. There you go. We got a bunch of knockouts at the UFC White House. We got a bunch of people getting finished, getting stopped, getting fucked up. People's lives changed. And we all got to witness it. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go strangle some people. I'm running late as fuck. But I love being here with you guys. So shout out to you guys. Shout out for everybody that hopped in the chat today. Shout out for everybody that subscribed. We're going to crack through. We're breaking through 600 subscribers like fucking nothing. And we're all going to look back on this video. And we're going to be like, damn, man. 200 million subscribers now? What? I remember when I was on there before it was 600. It's crazy, guys. It's crazy. Anyways, make sure you have notifications on because as you can see, I go live random ass times. Anyways, to all my real ones out there, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.